Hey guys, this is Mishy. Well, I haven't exactly been putting out a lot of stuff lately, and I just wanted to give you guys a sample of what I'm working on. What I'm working on right now is actually a trailer for the War of the Shifting Sands, and maybe a bit of an introduction to it, the machinima that I'm working on. Now, I'm just going to show you a little bit of footage of what I've been working on here. And this is playing at about 30 frames per second. Well, right now it's rendering, obviously. This is Adobe After Effects. And this is just a little bit of test render footage that I've been rendering out for the past couple of hours. Well, past 20 hours or so. But uh, when you're animating stuff like this, there's often a lot of times where a single still is not going to give you a lot of detail you need to see whether the animation's right or not. And something really cool that I've been doing, and the reason you haven't heard much from me, is I've been working on getting FBX animated imports functioning. Now the FBX animated imports basically mean that your terrain stuff, like for instance these waving flags back here, come in animated. And that's something that a lot of people have been wanting. I'm working with Rito on getting that to happen. And it's really neat, really fun stuff. Other things are like, for instance, I'm using Blizzard's image sequence for the bump map on the water, and you can see it's working there. It's actually got reflections. You can actually see the reflections, etc. But I think it's coming up a little bit too fast. So what I did was I rendered out two cameras, about 15 seconds a camera, just to see what the status of my project was, to see if there's any major issues that I need to fix. So let me go ahead and see what we got here. The water, I don't know about the water. I think it might be moving a little bit too fast. There's too much going on with it for what's going on. On the other hand, if you look at the flags and the spider webs in the background, that might be working. Now, let's just go ahead and render out a little bit more at this point over here. As you can see here, the flags are animated. I'm actually went ahead and rendered out some fire effects in there. As you can see, the spider webs are moving. A few small issues that I've noticed with my FBX importer. First off, everything that's animated comes in as a mesh with Turbo Smooth. And you can actually see the puffs. I mean, you can't really see them. They're there. They're working. They're just very subtle. But anyway, everything comes in rendered with the dummy object skin and Turbo Smooth. Now that works great for stuff like the spider webs and the puffs, but you see all these artifacts on the flags. That's not because of the shading. That's definitely not the shadows. As you can see, it's nothing else is having nearly that amount of effect. So if we look at that, I mean, that's just, I'm not a big fan of that. So you're probably wondering, okay, what is that? How do I get rid of that? Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you. You got my scene here in Max. I've got a number of objects, as you can see. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at this banner here. Now, normally when you import stuff, oops, close. Normally when you import stuff, it comes in grouped. And what we're going to do is just going to go ahead and hit group open. You don't want to ungroup this stuff. It makes a massive headache to deal with. First things first, for the cloth objects, just, I don't see the point to Turbo Smooth. There's no real point. And you'll think that you're done here, but that's where you're going to be wrong. Second, you're going to go ahead and select the vertex. You're going to select all your verts, and you're going to break them. And then you're going to weld selected for 0.01. That's going to reduce the number of verts that you got right there, but still not done. It's the same basic concept that happens with your planes. The smoothing groups get really fucked up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fix that. Check the ignore back facing and spin around to the back, and just go ahead and select the panels there. Now you'll look like you've selected everything, but that's where you'd be wrong. This is what happens, and this is why you get those artifacts, is very often on thin objects, flaps of skin, wings, shit like that, Blizzard will double render it. They don't use two-sided, they use one-sided objects. So to get both the front and back, Blizzard goes through and uses two one-sided objects instead of one two-sided object. Well, 3ds Max, we can just force two-sided on the material, so it doesn't matter. So all we're going to do is go ahead and hit delete, and boom, now we only have the front of this scourged flag. So let's go ahead and drop out of face mode and pop back up to the skin modifier. You'll see it pops right back over to where it belongs. And the reason it does that is because the new importer that I've written, and I've put a lot of work into this, so I know there are some bugs, but the sheer amount of benefits of pulling everything in fully animated is astounding. So I'm really proud of it, and I'll be making this available soon. Right now what I've been doing is I've been manually rewriting the import models file and exporting FBX animated files from Model Viewer because the FBX exporter in Machinima Studios isn't quite ready for production yet. But anyway, what we're going to do here is if we go ahead and pop a quick render out, loading maps. There we go, rendering image. Look at that, 6 gigs of RAM used to render this. It's ridiculous. Granted, I am rendering 13,000 objects. Anyway, bam! Look at that. The shadows are actually correct. That's pretty much all there is to do when you're fixing stuff like that, but this is just a constant reminder, guys. Check your output. Don't render out your entire scene, spend hours rendering just to realize, oh, right, shit, I didn't need that. So, just a heads up, guys. Now then, next on the list, yeah, we've got 2 more of those things that we need to fix up over here. So we're gonna go ahead and, oops, too far. You know, what is this? Seriously, what is this stuff over here? Look at that, it's like a freaking museum of parts and stuff. It's just sitting here under the world. It's kind of freaky. And look at that, we got freaking knights and shit sitting here. Look at that. What is this, some kind of like goat thing right here? Goat woman? And look at that. Or that, or, you know, freaking somebody likes disco. Yeah, we got tombstones, bones, all sorts of shit down here. And look at this stuff. We party hard, guys, party hard. Yeah. So anyway, just some weird stuff that I figured I'd show you guys. I guess it's leftover stuff. Anyway, what were we doing? Oh yeah, we're going over here. What is this? Oh, yeah, those are the birds. Magic flying birds from out of the world. Okay, sorry guys, I'm getting distracted. We got 2 flags over here to fix. So you can also see, you can kind of predict, when you see the smoothing groups all jagged like this and the shadows all jagged like that, that's a clear sign that your smoothing groups are messed up, and I honestly should have seen it before I rendered. So that's entirely my bad. So just open the group up, pick it, delete turbo smooth, go into edit your mesh, select all your verts, break, selected, boom. And, you know, just control A. You don't even have to be looking at the damn thing to do it. Ignore back facing, spin it around. Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Done. That's all there is to it. So that's quick and easy fix. Let's go ahead and close our group back up so we have to deal with it. Group, open, select, delete, Control A, break, weld, facing. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Done. So now all of our flags are fixed. Now about that water, I personally don't like that water going that fast. Don't know about you guys. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Not that close. Oh god, too close. Too far. Whatever. Where the hell are you going? Wee, wee, wee. Okay, so yeah, the water. Lots and lots of water. And fallen trees and shit like that. Whatever. Let's go ahead and open up our material editor here and figure out what the fuck's going on here. So you can see I was working a little bit with the compositing. Don't really need to worry about this right now. Let's clear the view. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick up our material here and figure out what we're doing here. Now each of these was an IFL, that's an image file list. And I'm just using the image file list from Blizzard. But obviously it's timed a little bit too fast. And I'm not really liking that. And each of these is looped. So that's scaled 35, 35, 50, and 20. Do I want those scaled like that? I don't know. Let's go ahead and disable these and just see which one's which, huh? So I'm just going to drag this up here. You guys saw what I did to it. And we're just going to go ahead and pop a few renders off and see what each of these does for me. Because I'm not entirely sure. Like most of you, I'm winging it. So I'm not some grand expert on this stuff. I'm just teaching myself as we go along and figuring out what looks best. So by no means think that I know more than you do, because odds are for your digital arts, you know a hell of a lot more than I do. Alright, what the hell is this one? Besides looking like ass. Yeah, so obviously it's being slow simply because I'm recording, and yeah. Alright, so that gives it that nice little mottled appearance, it looks like. I should probably alter my angle a little bit. Yeah. Yarg. Yarg. There we go. Boat and get this nice little image here. You know what, I'm just going to drop my render, excuse me. Oh, 480 by 270 should tell me what's going on here. And as we render it, we can see exactly what that image that we disabled does. All I have to do is wait for it to finish rendering. Okay, this rendered really fast, but far too small to be useful. Let's bump it back up. This usually works better with sunlight directly on the river, but whatever. Hi, cat. Hi, 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 Corey. I'm busy. I'm busy. Alright, so this is the little image list right there, and that provides the biggest model to it, it looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and slow that down, because I think that's what was moving the fastest. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to our material editor. Now the way I got that in there was I made a composite bump map, and I just loaded each IFL. And the IFL is generated from a PNG sequence, so all I did was exported those PNG sequences and thing, and boom. So you're like A, B, and C, and each of them is 30 frames long. So I've got the IFL there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and tweak the playback rate to, I don't know, 0.5. And you know what? I'm going to ping pong that one. I'm going to loop it. I don't know if I like the loop. Well, let's go ahead and add these back in and slow them down as well. See if that makes it a little bit more pleasant to watch. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and tweak this one's tiling down to 10 by 10. I want to get a nice big look at the area. Alright, so that's my texture. It's been bumped. Let's render. And we're going to take a quick pause while this thing renders. Alright, so that gives it a lot better look there, I think. Nice big wavelets. I like that. I like that look. Alright, so the real question, of course, is what's going to look like while it's animating. So we're going to have to render that out, and I'll upload it as a second video. So I'll do that and see you guys later. Thanks.